Good morning, everybody. So today we're going to make a Greek meal, and we're going to make chicken souvlaki and Greek potatoes, and we're going to make a dessert. And then later on we're going to go we're going to prune a rose bush, but we're also going to plant the strawberries we bought at soil shopping the other day. So let's get to it. So to start with, we're going to make a Greek spice seasoning. It's basically equal parts garlic powder, basil, oregano, dill, salt, and pepper. So I am just going to add roughly a teaspoon of each, and we're just going to mix it together so we can use it for our chicken. Much easier just to take the lid off. This one is basil. Then we have oregano. Let's see if I can take the little thing off. Oregano. Do the same for the dill. I actually haven't made this in a really long time. I'm not of Greek descent in any form. This is just a recipe I found off of the internet. Onion powder. We're missing onion powder. Onion powder. I'm probably going to put a little bit less salt just because that's a lot of salt. If we need to add more salt, we can add it to the meat later. Okay, so I'm just going to mix that up. Now I'm going to cut up some chicken. I have these handy little bag holders. We're going to cut up chicken and potatoes, and we're going to marinate them for at least 2 or 3 hours. So we'll get our bag holders set up here. Just so that when I cut the chicken and the potatoes, I can put it right into the bag to marinate. These are very convenient. Okay, so do that. Let me put all these spices away. Hopefully we shouldn't need them. I'll leave them right here just in case we do. Now I'm just going to cube up the chicken. Get it ready for marinating. Okay. Okay. I'm just going to cube these in. We're going to put these on skewers later. Put it right into the bag. I'm only cutting them in about 1 to 1.5 inch cubes. I'll also make it so they can cook nice and evenly. Try to make them the same size. One more here. And I'll use the rest of this chicken for a different recipe. Tomorrow I'm thinking about making corn chowder with breadsticks, so we'll probably use the rest of that in that. Okay, let me just wash my hands now that I got the chicken cut. I have washed my knife, washed my hands, and got a new cutting board, and now we're just going to dice up the potatoes as well. These, you cut them in wedges, but I'm going to cut them in chunks just because I think they'll cook a little bit better and marinate a little bit better. But that's just pure preference. So we're also going to be marinating the potato. Both of these should marinate for at least 2 to 3 hours. Overnight is best, but I found doing it for at least 2 to 3 hours is fine. So later when we go into the garden, I actually have a fail to share with all of you. I'm pretty disappointed about it. It's in my garden and I'm kind of sad. I think I know what I did wrong, but hopefully you guys can give me some tips too. I'll show you in a little bit. I discovered it yesterday. Okay, a couple more and it should be fine. Okay, I think this should be good. Okay, now we're going to make the marinade. This recipe calls for white wine vinegar, which I do not have, so I'm just going to use pure white vinegar. So let's start with the potatoes. I need to start with some olive oil here. Who wants about half a cup in this recipe? Let me get a measuring cup here. Okay, so about half a cup, about there. I'm just going to pour that into my bag here. And then a quarter of a cup of lemon juice. So I do have a lemon here. I'm just going to roll it to get the juices flowing a bit. I only have one lemon, so I'm going to have to substitute with a little bit of a concentrate here. Put my little lemon juicer together here. And a quarter of a cup is what I need for this recipe. Just going to juice the lemon here. May as well juice the other one too while we're at it. Okay, that looks about like a quarter of a cup, so we're just going to pour that right in. I'm actually going to pour half and half. I'm going to pour half into the chicken because the chicken calls for a large lemon to be juiced. So I'm going to put half of the real lemon in this one just to give it better flavor, and then we'll use a little bit of this in both. Okay, that should be good. Okay, and then the potatoes also call for some chicken broth, 1.5 cups worth. This recipe, the potatoes marinate in this juice, and then they also cook down into it so the flavors get concentrated into the potatoes. This is some of my canned chicken stock that I made. So 1.5. And then it calls for 3 cloves of garlic. One, roughly. It's okay if there's too much garlic. Really like garlic, so it's okay. That. And then we have some of this, the Greek seasoning. I'm going to add about a tablespoon. So we're just going to do a heaping teaspoon here. Like that. A little bit more. And that goes right into the potatoes. And then it's also saying a sprinkle of paprika. So we'll do that too. That looks like a sprinkle. Okay. Now for the potato, or the chicken, pardon me. Move that over. Okay, so for the chicken, we need olive oil. We already put the lemon juice in. Olive oil needs about 2 tablespoons. Looks good. Four cloves of garlic. Four. The lemon juice that we just put in, I need 3 tablespoons of this Greek seasoning we just made. I'm just going to pour the rest in. There's not much left. And some vinegar. So about 1 tablespoon of the vinegar. Yeah, let's do this. And then we just mix all this together. So let's do the chicken first. Just take it off. I like to make sure all the air is out. And then just mix it all together. Open it a little bit here. It's not mixing really well. Okay, let's try mixing it with air in it this time. It's probably a lot better. That's better. And I'm just making sure the seasoning's coated on all of the chicken. So it looks like that. And then we're going to let this marinate in the fridge. I'm just taking the air out again. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to do the same thing for the potatoes here. Just make sure all the seasonings are mixed up nice. And then I'm going to take out all the air, or most of it anyways. Like that. And then we can marinate them. I'm going to marinate them probably for about 3 hours. So now I'm just going to prepare some of the carrots for later. First I'm going to clean up a little bit. It's a little bit messy. now I'm just going to peel some carrots. These are for dinner. I'm going to saute them. I'm going to go wash these. Okay. Carrots are all washed. I'm just going to dry them a little bit so I don't cut myself. Okay. So I'll just peel the carrots, and then I'm just going to slice them so that they're prepared later, so I don't have to do it later. I'm going to save all of these peels from the carrots. I like to save them to put in my chicken stock. Brings lots of flavor. I usually make big batches of chicken stock, usually 15 to 35 jars at once. It's quite the task, but it really helps when I'm cooking. And I have my own homemade chicken stock that has so much more flavor than bought, and it's cheap. It's practically free. All you do is use your scraps from all your cooking adventures. I don't specifically buy vegetables or chicken to put in it. Not usually anyways. Occasionally I'll use like the last portion of a roasted chicken, and definitely use the bones. That's a weird shaped carrot. I'm going to get a Ziploc so that I can put all these in the freezer. I do this with scraps of bell pepper and stuff too. So now I'm just going to cut the ends off. I wish I had chickens, then I could give some of this stuff to chickens. I do not have chickens. Maybe one day when I get a house, I will get chickens. Then I'm going to need some advice on how to take care of them. But, you know, I grew up on a farm, so I'm sure it won't be that difficult to learn. Okay, so now I'm just going to slice them into chunks. I'm going to get a bowl to put these in. Carrots and broccoli are my children's two favorite vegetables. My children aren't huge meat eaters, so I try to make sure I have some sort of vegetables. They do eat meat, but I would not be surprised if they grow up to be vegetarian when they grow up, when they move out on their own. Okay, so I think that's good for dinner later as a side. So now we can go and prune the rose bush and plant some strawberries and some succulents that I bought. I bought some succulents to put in those little blue pots that we found at the junk in the trunk sale. Okay, so we're going to plant some strawberries. I bought this container. It's tiered. It goes like this. I got it at a garage sale. I am going to fill it with Pro Mix. Oh, just 1 second. I need to get some gloves. Put my gloves on here. It's really hot in this greenhouse. Okay. I'm just going to fill this. I'm going to put some in the other one. Okay, I will be right back with another bag. I figured we'll use some of this organic soil enricher. It's like a compost for, I think it has seaweed and shellfish in it, yeah. We'll put some of this in. That should be good. I want to leave a little enough for the shavings that we bought the other day. Mix it up. Break up some of the chunks here. There's already holes drilled into the bottom of these. I am going to put some bone meal into the dirt. This will help the strawberries root better, help them produce more. I'm just going to mix that in. I'm going to save these pots. I can use them next year for something else. I'm just placing them so they look symmetrical in the pot, just so they look nice. I do plan on taking runners off of these later, making more plants. Let's plant a couple on the other ones just to make sure we have them spaced nice. I think we're going to put 4 in this pot. We can always put runners in it later. Oh look, it's got some nice new foliage coming in. It's very beautiful. Okay, let's rearrange these a little bit. Stick them a little closer together. That. Now I'm going to add this berry food fertilizer. It says to sprinkle it around the plant like this. And apparently I'd only feed them this twice a year. Now we're going to top with some wood shavings here that we bought the other day. I couldn't find any straw or hay. I figured this would work just as well. Spread it out a bit. Probably should have watered first, but I'll water afterwards. I'm going to leave these plants in the greenhouse for now. Later I'm going to put them in the garden, but it's a little cold at night still, so we're going to leave them in the greenhouse for now. So that looks good. Okay, now I'm just going to water them really well. And they should be good. Now we can go prune the rose bush. Actually, before we prune the rose bush, I just discovered something. I went to put the top on, and I didn't realize that I need to move this middle one. Let's see where this goes. Yeah. Let's kind of do it out the side here. Like that. That's a little better. Okay. And then the top piece is supposed to go like this. I'm going to set it up in the corner over here though. This is what it looks like all put it together. I also forgot we need to plant some succulents before we do the rose. Okay, these are the little plants that I bought. These are the containers that we bought at the Junk in the Trunk sale. Add some Pro Mix into it. Handful of compost. Mix it up a little bit. Okay. I'm not sure what kinds of succulents these are. I just like the way they looked. I like succulents because they don't really need a lot of care. It's one of those plants where you can kind of forget it and they don't die. It's kind of great. I usually kill house plants. Outdoor plants I'm great, but indoor for some reason I kill them like crazy. Okay, and then we'll just water them a little bit. There we go. Okay, so I noticed the other day that this rose was quite dead. Ow. Oops. It's quite dead in most areas here. So I am going to trim this right back. Hopefully it'll come back nice. Yeah, most of this is dead. Cut that right off. This one is very, very prickly. It's got huge thorns, so I'm trying to be careful. Ooh. Oh my, that is so prickly. Look at the spikes on that. I'm just going to cut it right down. I think that'll make the plant healthier. I'll be able to grow back a little bit better. Ow. All these ones down here are all dead. Some of these are still nice and alive. I see some shoots coming, so I'm going to leave those. Take these dead head portions off here. Oop, I cut the wrong one. Oops. Ow. Okay, I think I'm going to leave these ones at the back here. Some of them are starting to sprout. Take the heads off them. Ow. There we go. I think I'll leave it at that. It's got some nice new shoots coming, so we're going to leave it like that. Okay, time to show you my fail. So I came out here yesterday to look at my garlic, and I'm not seeing any sprouts other than some dandelion weeds. And so I decided to dig down and look for the garlic. And this is what I found. Oh! Oh! Okay, I got excited for a second. It's a dandelion weed. But it's all mushy. Can you see? It's like mushy. I think I did something wrong. I don't know if I didn't plant it deep enough or if I didn't put enough mulch on top. I'm not sure. Just trying to find another bulb here. See if they're all this bad. Oh, there's another one. Yeah, see, they're all mushy. Oh, gosh, that hurts so much. And so I'm not sure if I just didn't stick enough mulch, or if I planted them too deep, or if they were too wet. But that bed, that one, and that one were all garlic. And I suspect it's like that in all of them. Let's see. Yep, it is. See, it's all mushy. Ugh. Fail. I mean, it smells good. It smells like garlic. Oh, that one's moldy and mushy. Ugh. Sorry. Moldy and mushy. So I guess we're planting onions in here this year. I'll take out all the garlic later, and onions it is. Okay, so while we're waiting for the chicken and the potatoes to finish marinating, we're going to get started on the dessert. I'm going to make it in this dish here. So first, let's melt the butter. This is about 7 tablespoons. And we're going to get some graham cracker crumbs here. I need about 1.5 cups of graham cracker crumbs. I'm going to get a pair of scissors. Okay, this is about exactly 1 cup. I like to use it a lot for measuring because it's exactly 1 cup. It's about 1.5. That. And then I need 1 cup of powdered sugar. Let me see if I can find that. Okay, I found the powdered sugar. We need about... Oh, this goes in the filling. Wrong sugar. I need the granulated sugar. I don't think it much would have mattered, but we'll use the proper sugar. So I need about 3 tablespoons. One, 2, and 3. Let's put this off to the side. I don't think I need it anymore, but just in case. Okay, I'm going to use the butter spoon. Okay, so now we can go get the butter. Oh my, it exploded all over the microwave. I'm going to have a mess to clean up. So I'm just going to pour a little bit in at a time here. We're just making the crust for the dessert. We just want it to be crumbly, and so it all sticks together. That's almost the perfect texture. So I'm going to grab a glass. So I'm going to pour a little bit of it in this. This is for my daughter. She does not like cherries. We're making cherry delight dessert with cherries. She doesn't like cherries. So we are going to make her a chocolate pudding one. I'm just going to push it down a little bit. And then I'm going to put the rest in here. Save a little bit for her later, just in case I need a little more. And then now, I'm just going to put this off to the side here. All we do is push it in. Like this. Pat it down nice and firm. And this is going to solidify in the fridge when it's cooling with the rest of the ingredients. So it'll get nice and hopefully hard if I did things right. There we go. Now I'm going to put that aside and we're going to do the filling for the dessert. Okay, for the filling we need 8 ounces of cream cheese. Mine was frozen, so I thawed it beforehand. About 1 cup of powdered sugar. I have a 1/2 cup measure in here, so we're going to put 2 of these in. Like that. And then I'm going to get my mixer and we're going to mix it. Okay, I'm going to add some vanilla to this before we start. Calls for about a teaspoon. I like a little bit more. I find it's more flavorful when you add a tiny bit more. So I'm going to add a tiny bit more just for some flavor. And there's also going to be some of this in the whipped cream that we're making as well. Just put my beaters in my mixer here. Okay. So I'm just mixing this until it's nice and smooth, like that. Okay, and now we're going to mix the whipped cream. So I'm going to set that aside. I have some heavy cream here. I couldn't get bigger ones, so I had to buy these little ones. You could also substitute using Cool Whip in this dessert. I prefer it with whipped cream, but I know Cool Whip is a sort of a form of whipped cream, but I prefer it with heavy cream. Okay, now I'm just going to add a little bit of icing sugar. We already added a little bit in the other one, so I don't want to add too much. A little bit more vanilla. And now we're just going to whip up the whipped cream. Okay, I did that till it's about soft to stiff peaks like that. Clean up a little bit of my mess here, it went everywhere. Okay, now I just take the cream cheese mixture and I'm going to fold the whipped cream into it. Okay, so I'm just going to fold this in. Oh, I got a little bit on the counter. Okay, so I'm just folding this into the mixture like this. Like that. it. Finish folding that in. Till it's all incorporated. I'm going to give it a taste test in a minute, make sure it's got the right flavor. Okay. Yes, it's perfect. It's got the right amount of vanilla in it. It's very flavorful. Okay, so that's what it should look like. And now we're going to put the dessert together. Okay, now I've cleaned up a little bit so it's nicer in here. And now I can put the dessert together. So, just going to get this. I'm going to put a little bit in the glass. Hopefully I can do this nicely. Oh, not so nice. Okay. This is a very easy dessert to make, very fast. It really doesn't take long at all. And I'm just going to finish putting this in there. And we're going to spread it out all nice and even. I like making this dessert in this clear dish just because you can see the different layers and it looks really beautiful. Like that. Okay, and now I have cherry pie filling. You can use literally any kind of pie filling you want, but this does taste really good with cherry. I do plan to make my own cherry pie filling eventually, but for now, this will do. Like that. And then I'm just going to spread it out nice and evenly. Just like that. And there's the beautiful dessert. And you can see the different layers. Looks beautiful. Now I'm going to finish Madison's. I'm just going to leave that down the side. I don't think she'll mind. I'm just going to use some Jello pudding, half the sugar Jello pudding. She likes this stuff. And I'm just going to put it on top, just like we did with the cherries. Like that. Oh, I'm messy today. Clean that up, make it look a little nicer. There we go. And there's her dessert. So I will be back once the chicken and the potatoes are done being marinated. I was reading my recipe and the Greek potatoes need to cook for 1.5 to 2 hours. So we're going to put them in the oven now. Okay, so I'm just going to dump the marinade and the potatoes. It says in the recipe to do the marinade as well. It cooks into the potatoes as it's cooking. Just going to get a spoon here to mix it around. Okay, like that. And then I'm just going to stick it in the oven for 1.5 to 2 hours. I'm going to check it at 1.5 and see how tender they are and see how much liquid's left. Okay, I think everything is done marinating. It looks pretty good. But I was going to make skewers and then I realized that I can't find them. So we're just going to cook them in cubes. We're going to spray a little bit of spray. Okay, and for the sauteing portion, for the carrots, I'm going to stick some butter in. Melt all the butter. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil to the butter so it doesn't burn. Then I'm going to add our chopped carrots that we chopped earlier. And we're going to let these simmer a little bit in the butter and the olive oil. And then we'll season them a little bit closer to the end of them cooking here. Just get them a little coated there. Okay, now while that's cooking, we already sprayed this. I am just going to pour them in here. Like I said, I would have used skewers, but I can't seem to find them. I'm doing this on a grill pan because I discovered last week that I need to buy a new barbecue. My barbecue is got a big rotted hole in the middle of it that I didn't know was there. I'm lucky I found it. It was a safety problem. The whole bottom portion of it is all rotted right out. I'll insert a picture and you can see what I mean. Why we're not using the barbecue. I would have preferred to use the barbecue just for the char flavor, but we're working with what we got here. Add a little bit of pepper to those. So we're just going to grill up the chunks. Our potatoes, I just checked on them and they are actually done perfectly. So I shut the oven off and we're just going to let them stay warm until the rest of the dinner is done. It smells so good. You can smell all the seasonings from the marinades. Smells delicious. Make a bit of my mess here. I'll try to get a little bit of a char on them. We'll see if that happens. It's got a lot of sauce on it, so mix up our carrots. Add a little bit of salt. Carrots are quite bland, so we need some seasoning on them. Oh. Okay. Well, it looks like we're starting to get a little bit of a char. It's good, or at least browning. Oh, that's nice. There we go. It's much better. I don't know if you can see that. Just show you. It's much better. And we don't want to overcook the chicken, so I'm probably going to let this be cooked. We don't want to overcook it, so I think we're going to leave it at that. We'll shut that off. Check on our carrots. Now we're going to add, see the carrots are getting some browning on them. So now I'm going to add some garlic plus seasoning. This works really well on vegetables. Like that. And I think those are done too. Okay, so let's plate up the dinner. Bring everything over here. And the chicken. So we'll plate up some chicken. Some carrots. Like that. And then we'll plate up some of these Greek potatoes. And there's the final product. Now I'm just going to plate up some of the dessert, and we'll taste that. Should be all nice and set. Let's get a spoon. It looks delicious, so hopefully it tastes good. There we go. Like that. So let's taste everything. I'm going to taste the carrots. Yep, they're perfectly seasoned. It's good. Taste some of the chicken. Oh, wow. That's so flavorful. It's really good. And some of our lemon Greek potatoes. Oh, it's really good. It's really good. And then we'll taste the dessert. Get a little bit of a bite of everything in there. It's delicious. So, this is where we're going to end the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.